Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me here. Oh, and thank you for inviting me to participate in this interesting issue. I am landscape architect from my background. I studied in Germany and I did also my PhD there. And since then, I'm working here in Lisbon in different kinds of projects. I'm from the Department of Architecture and Urban Planning, but I'm also a member of a huge center of research center for education and development. We have a new kind of research centers here in Lisbon. They put everything almost together. And we have in our research center, urban planning, geography, history, and education. It's a very interesting combination. There are some different topics related. And in this center, I am working on different kind of projects. Most of them based centered on public open spaces. And from these 6 projects I have actually at the moment, I want to share with you some experience we have in 2 main projects where the public spaces were really in the center of the action. One was the Costa action I coordinated, I chaired until 2018. And the other one is H2020 projects about how we can use technology to engage people in the co-creation of public spaces. This project is called C3 Places. So we have different projects. I'm working different networks like the DARIA. It's about practice to study urban.
Sorry, Carlos, can you put your presentation in full screen mode, please?
It's not. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes, fine, thanks.
Okay. The DARIA, it's about how you use technology to engage people with their heritage, cultural heritage. So I'm working different fields, but most of them always centered in public spaces. In cyberparks, I think it was one of the main or the first projects that tackled this idea of having some hybrid spaces. So our main task was to try to understand what these hybrid spaces mean. What is this mediated space means? You have to think that we started this project in 2012 with the idea and get it approved 2013, 2014. We started the network for 4 years. It was a huge network, almost 90 people around Europe and USA. And for us was first idea try to understand and try to catch what is this hybrid spaces. So there are different ways we can put technology into the public space, into the city. So for us, we decided then to name this space that is hybrid, that is a combination between the virtual and the real world as a cyberpark. And for us, it is the space where nature, so the space and ICT blend together to generate an hybrid experience and to enhance the quality of life. This was for us very important, that we can use technology to bring people to be outside, to be outdoors, and to make their experiences in the city more valuable. So just to show you the different ways technologies coming into public spaces, the 3 main easiest ways to see them is here in Lisbon, for example, the city is using QR to inform tourists about the places where they are in. So it's very easy to see videos, to get information, background information about these spaces. So the other kind of street furniture that we are having in cities are equipments that we can upload, we can recharge batteries or go online, have Wi-Fi like here in Paris. So there are very few elements very few components. They are coming very slowly into the public spaces. For us, we decided that because of this huge area of interaction between the real and the virtual, that we have the main structure to understand it is to see where this technology is used. The first one is when it's in place. So that means the technology for analysis the place. And here we're very lucky because we have partners from Spain, and they started to develop an application that it was very useful for us, that we can track people when they are in public spaces. It's very simple in this way, but it's complicating the way especially about law and which data you can have. But we managed to organize a very nice, I think very important application to track people in public spaces and also to interact with these people. This was a very huge program that the University in Deusto in Bilbao in Spain had, and they offer this tool, and we organized different workshops, different tests with this tool. With this tool, we started in other project here in Lisbon. I will tell you later. So then the second way to see what is the interference or the application of ICT in public spaces is how we can enhance the experience of people in the place, and how people can give people information about the places. These are the three main structures used in the project. We produced a lot of literature, many publications, different books, almost one book every year. And we start, I think this is also very interesting, to collect examples, how the ICT comes into the public spaces, what are the value, especially to understand what is the value of this interference of these hybrid spaces. It's what we call a pool of examples. It's in our website, different ideas around the world, everyone can contribute. It's still increasing, still working. So we try to get an idea what does this means, this hybrid space, because it's, technology is so huge. There are different ways to use it. And we start with trying to put information together in this way that what are the main issues that people use in space, why people go to the public spaces, and why they do that, what is the reason they do that, and how technology can contribute to it. There are huge tables with different information. I don't want to go in examples and details with you. Everything is on our website. But I want to show you one example because this is a really a current issue because of the COVID-19, the pandemic, the question of public health. Many researchers have been working on that, the value of being outside, to contacting nature, to be outside, to be in the sun, to be in the fresh air. So for this, the healthy conditions or the health and mental well-being is very important, that we have spaces that people can go and use it and take advantage for being there. But we can only have these benefits if you have spaces where people live, spaces that are attractive, that are accessible, and are responsive. That means that spaces that meet the needs of people. Because it's no point to have somewhere in the city a public space that is not accessible, it's far away where people live. So if you want to have these conditions or the benefits we can gain from public spaces, the spaces have to be there where people use them. And this was one attractive for us to check how we can use technology to engage people with their environment, with the creation of public spaces. And this can be the idea of the next project I'm going into is the C3 places. C3 means cooperation, coordination, and co-creation. How can we involve people in the co-creation of public spaces? It's a 2020 project. It's going to finish in this October. We should have today and tomorrow our last conference, but COVID spoiled our plans. We are now collecting other ideas how we can manage that, because in Lisbon we cannot do anything face to face. So everything has to be online.
Yeah.
And
Carlos, can you sum up basically with maybe giving us a last idea of this living lab, because we are running out of time, unfortunately, already.
Okay, the Living Lab was the idea of to engage teenagers in the co-creation of public spaces. So we developed a huge research program and involving teenagers, how we can develop, because we have seen that they are not involved in decision making, they are not involved in the process of creating cities. So we want to engage teenagers to understand what are their needs and how we can engage them in co-creation. Very interesting for us is that we work with a school here in Lisbon, and we try to design the public spaces in the way that they want to use. For us, it was very interesting because they don't want any faithful space. They want real space they can be together with peers. They want to be in the nature, so they want to have more green, and they want to have a dedicated space. That means a space that the adults don't have a surveillance on them. These were the basic needs they have. I think this is not really something faithful out of the box, but it's a real need that we have to give an answer to that. From my opinion, or from this, what we can have from this project is technology is good. It's good that we have, but it has to make sense. It has to bring an added value for the ones that use the space, wants to use the space, and for that ones that are not using now but can use in the future. And the smart city doesn't alone mean that we need technological fixes, but we have to involve people, because for them we create the city. And technology or virtual space is not a substitute for a physical space. Technology is not a substitute. We have seen that even with people with own gardens, possible ways to be outside, they still need public space. They use a public space. So that means for us, technology, it's an added value, it's good, but it doesn't substitute public spaces. And public spaces we need to have where people live in. These are the main points that I want to share with you. Our projects are online, and we have a lot of literature and ideas to share. And for sure, I'm here if you have any question. Thanks for your attention.